So today's topic is zooplankton, its collection and preservation. So something about zooplankton. In Greek, zoo means animal and planktos means wandering, and they are diverse floating and drifting animals with limited power of locomotion. Then majority of them are microscopic, unicellular or multicellular forms with size ranging from a few microns to a millimeter or more. In addition to the size variations, there are differences in morphological features and taxonomic position. The then about their role, this zooplankton play a major role in studying the faunal biodiversity of aquatic ecosystems. When they feed on phytoplankton and facilitate the conversion of plant material into animal tissue and in turn constitute the basic food for higher animals including fishes, particularly the larvae. And the zooplankton occurrence and their occurrence and distribution influence pelagic fishery potentials. That is, the fishes usually breed in areas where these planktonic organisms are plenty, and so that their young ones could get sufficient food for survival and growth. So these are the examples of zooplankton: copepods, cladocerans, rotifers, zoea, then snowfly, fish larvae, fish or comes under zooplankton. Then about the methods of collection. The zooplankton collection involves primarily the filtration of water by net, collecting the water in bottles or samplers or by pumps. So the sampling success will largely depends on the selection of suitable gear, then mesh size of netting material, then time of collection, then water depth of the study area, and sampling strategy. Then first one about the bottles or water samplers. These bottles are used for collecting small forms of microzooplankton. That is, this water is collected at the sampling site in bottles of water samplers of 5 to 20-liter capacity. Then the surface water can be collected by scooping water using this bottle of suitable size. Then there should be minimum water disturbance to prevent avoidance reaction by plankton, and also the uh, microzooplankton is collected are then concentrated by allowing them to settle, centrifuging or fine filtration. Then about the pumps, the gear is normally used on board the vessel or board. In this method, the inlet pipe is first lowered into the water and the outlet pipe is connected to a net of suitable mesh size. Then the net is particularly submerged in a tank of known volume. This prevents the damage to the organisms. And the zooplankton is then filtered through a net. A meter scale on the pump records the volume of water filtered, and this method is used for quantitative estimation and to study the small scale distribution of plankton. Then about the nets, the most common method of zooplankton collection is by a net. These plankton nets used are of various sizes and types, and the different nets can broadly be classified into two, that is open type and the closed nets with messengers. That is, this open type uh, nets are mainly used for horizontal and oblique holes, and these closed nets with messengers are used for collecting vertical samples from desired depths. Then the netting of the filtering cone is made of bolting silk, nylon or other synthetic material. That is, the netting material is made of bolting silk or nylon or other synthetic material, and the mesh size of the netting material will influence the type of zooplankton collected by a net. That is, as the size of the zooplankton varies, this mesh size of the netting material will influence the type of zooplankton collected. So this is a picture of plankton net. And then about the fixation and preservation. In zooplankton, this collected can be used for taxonomic studies. So they should be fixed and preserved immediately after the collection to prevent degradation due to bacterial action, cannibalism, or chemical deterioration. So the most common fixing and preserving reagent is formaldehyde, that is 4 to 5% formalin, and and after that this zooplankton samples can be stored for several years. So it is advisable to use the buffered formalin. So this commonly used buffers are borax, that is sodium tetraborate, or hexamethane tetramine. The buffers are then added in an amount of 200 gram to 1 liter of concentrated formalin. So always it is advisable to use buffered formalin. Then the nets with finer mesh will capture small organisms, that is larva stages and exoplanktonic forms, or a fish eggs, while those with coarse netting material are used for collecting bigger plankton and fish larvae. So, the occurrence of this zooplankton during daytime is less because they avoid sunlight, and they usually migrate down to the bottom for feeding and to avoid predation and uh, the sunlight during daytime. So this phenomenon is known as a vertical migration. So zooplankton sampling would be conducted early morning at night or at night for maximum zooplankton collection. So this is all about the collection and preservation of zooplankton, and that's all for today. Thank you.